right, dads, welcome to the DadWise Monthly. This month is September. Hope you guys are getting into a bit of a rhythm with the school year back in session. If you're homeschooling, this is just back to regular life, still regular life for you, so keep on keeping on. Sorry about my Batman vibes today. It's 4:57 right now as I record. We just had our fourth baby, and so this is my only quiet time to record, and my toddler is sleeping just like around the corner, so I'm trying to keep it a little subdued right now. All the lights are down, so I apologize for the vibe. Or maybe this is a good vibe. I'll keep this one going. But this month, September, we're talking about establishing family rhythms, kind of as we get back into the swing of a normal year. Summer's ending. We want to start thinking about how to shape our lives in a way that supports our values. Because if we just do nothing, we'll just go with the flow of culture, and we'll buy into whatever the biggest, strongest, most influential person in our life wants us to do, whether that's our mother-in-law or the government or corporate America or whoever. We'll just get into the mindset of consumption and hustle and work and then sleep. And so as we think about our lives, as we shape our lives to support our values and our vision and our mission, rhythms are going to be super important for you as a dad to grow into the character that you want to develop, and for you as a family to be joined together as a team, as a unit that actually likes each other and spends time together. So the quote to start us off for the day is, "Life is about rhythm. We vibrate, our hearts are pumping blood. We are a rhythm machine, and that is what we do." Rhythm is built into who we are as people. And so if we can tap into those healthy rhythms of life, then we will flourish as human beings. So some tips to get us started on rhythms. Most of these are, the idea is to be tech-free during them. I talk about that a lot on my channel. But technology is just sucking the life out of us. And so if we can build in rhythms to have technology separate from our bodies, to just be a human being unplugged, then that's going to be really healthy for us. So as you think about these rhythms, plan to be unplugged from technology during most of them. The next thing is to not be too rigid about rhythms. If one of them is not serving your family, if it's not working for you right now, then do something different. Step back, reanalyze. Yeah, think like an engineer, right? So you want to be tweaking and doing different iterations of this project. And so start something, start building, and then as you build, tweak and adjust, and then you can get closer and closer and closer to your goal. And as your children age and develop and change their interests, you're going to have to kind of move with the target. So don't be too rigid. Don't be a dictator. Lead your family and adjust as needed. That leads us to the third tip for getting started with rhythms is to lead with vision. You're going to want to tell your children and your wife and yourself why you're doing this, especially if it's going to be a big shift. We'll talk about some minor shifts that won't take much vision, but some of the bigger lifestyle changes are going to need vision. And that brings us to our fourth point, is that to add in rhythms, we're also going to have to probably eliminate some rhythms. My family, we did soccer this summer, and we were out 2 nights a week, and it messed up our rhythm. And so I can't even imagine. We've got 4 kids, and if all of them were in sports, we would have no time to do what we want to do as a family and to be together as a family, because they each will be individually playing a different sport. So when they get older, we'll have to figure out how to either play a family sport together, like, I don't know, jujitsu or pickleball or something. But you're going to have to eliminate stuff. And so that's what's going to have to take some vision. If you've got kids who are really into sports or really into certain things, maybe you can do 1 season of sports or something, but talk to them about why you're doing this, to be a family unit, to be stronger together, and so that we can grow and love each other better. So here's some core rhythms to think about. I broke them into daily, weekly, and yearly. And so daily, time alone is your first one. As a dad, it's important to get some time alone, either to pray, meditate, read your Bible, work out, stare at the wall, plan your day, do whatever you need to do. But getting up early has been awesome for me. I go and do CrossFit 3 days a week, and the other 2 days a week, I just kind of get some work done and think about where I want to go with my life and my week and my day. And so that's been a great core habit for me, waking up early, getting some alone time. That's a way to develop character, develop centeredness, a rootedness, so that you can come at your day with intention. I like to do a morning welcome for each child as they come down the stairs. I'm down there hanging out, doing something on my computer usually, or reading a book. I sit up, I look at them, and I say good morning. And I hug them, and I say, how was your sleep? How are you? And just that little bit of connection is an important way for them to start their day, to be loved first thing in the morning. That's what I want them to feel. Number two, after breakfast and all that, if you send your kids to school, if you drive them to school, or if you start your day a different way, a marking point of like, we're going off into the day. So you could say the same thing every day, like go out and love someone and make the world a better place, or you can stop and pray together, or you can just remind them of your vision. Like, we as the Colas, we go out and we love people and help people and bring order to chaos, or whatever your thing is, your little vision statement. Say that every day to them. That's something that's going to be rooted in their minds as they grow up. Next daily rhythm that's really important is dinner time. There's tons of studies and growing science to support something we've known forever in culture, that eating together is really important. The people that we eat with, we bond with, and as you provide food for your kids, they see you as their provider, and you get to talk to each other, you get to interact with each other, and ask them how their day was. I have a PDF accompaniment that you can download for some dinner time questions to kind of walk through some basic ones, and also some more fun ones, thought experiment type ones. But a good one to start off with younger kids is highs and lows. How was your day? What was the best thing that happened? What was the worst thing that happened? What did you see today? How did you serve someone today? What beauty did you witness in the world? Stuff like that. And then the last there's two more daily rhythms, is your bedtime connection. So I like to help out with bedtime because I'm away a lot of the times. And so we get through bath time, we read a book, we sing, and then we pray. And there's 3-4 of them now, so there's a lot of moving parts, and so I help out with that. But each child I connect with before bed with a song and a blessing. I started doing a body blessing, which I really like, and I recommend everyone do. But basically the body blessing is starting from their heads, going down to their toes, just blessing each part of their body. So mine goes basically like this. I changed it up a little bit here and there, but bless their mind to be filled with wisdom and knowledge. Bless their eyes to see and perceive the truth. Bless their ears to hear and obey. Bless their nose to stop and smell the flowers. Bless their mouth to speak the truth in love. Bless their forehead to be strong against adversity. Bless their heart to be filled with passion and love. Bless their shoulders to carry the burdens of others. Their hands and arms to help and serve. Their stomachs to be filled with courage and yummy food. And that's when I tickle my toddler and my daughter. They like the tickles. And then their feet and legs to run fast and jump high. So I kind of instill vision and values into each part of their body, and that's what I leave them with in the evening. And then the last daily connection is a spouse connection, or the last daily rhythm is a spouse connection. So I think it's really important every day to be connected with your wife. And so make some time, even if it's 10 minutes, just to check in with her, see how she's doing. Some of this can be logistics, what's going on the next day, see how her heart is, talk about what you're learning and reading, and ask her what she's learning and reading. And sometimes these can turn into long hours of deep discussions, but if you do daily check-ins, it can kind of mitigate the resentment that grows in marriage and those big blow-ups that can happen. So if you're just checking off on her and seeing how she's doing and apologizing for maybe you said during the day, or asking what she's thinking about each kid and kind of talk about your children, that's a great time to connect. Different seasons, my wife and I do different things. We've got a 1-week-old baby in the bed now, so we're talking about him. we're talking about our days and how we've been doing. And other seasons, we go out and have tea or a little fire outside. But right now, we're just in bed chatting, hanging out. So those are the daily rhythms that you can be focusing on this month. And for all of these rhythms, you don't have to do all of them all at once, but just try one maybe each day and start building on them, and then see which ones work, and then add as you go. This one, weekly, this is the biggest one I think that you can try out during this month. This would be the main challenge. It would be to start some sort of Sabbath. And so typically a Sabbath is a Friday night to a Saturday night. That's kind of the traditional Jewish one. In the Western American world, we take Saturdays and Sundays now as days off. But this isn't just a day off. This is a day to connect. And so Friday night to Saturday night has been working for us. And then Sundays we go to church and then kind of spend the day getting ready for the week, either shopping or cleaning or prepping, and a little bit of playing, maybe a nap in there too on Sunday. But our Sabbath is a time to connect and kind of mark the week as sacred, to celebrate the last week and to look forward to the next week, and to remind ourselves that we are human beings. We're not human doings. I've heard someone say that, but that we exist as people without having to be productive. And so we tell our children that they're loved just the way they are, for who they are, and not because of what they do. And so we mark our Sabbath with a kind of a fancy dinner. I cook, which takes the pressure off my wife, who usually does the cooking. We light a few candles. I do a little bubbly drink for everybody. And then we sing a song together at the dinner table. And then usually we'll just kind of have a calm evening, maybe a few board games, and then kind of cleaning up dinner and then going to bed. And then Saturday, I wake up and I make some sort of pancake or waffle or a crepe if I'm feeling really fancy. And then I have planned for us some sort of adventure, usually like a small hike or a bike ride or a trip to the zoo or a trip to a flower garden or the beach or whatever. We just do a little morning activity, and then we get home for lunch and nap time. And then the evening we just do kind of like a pizza or some easy dinner, and then sometimes a movie at the end of the night or a walk or something easy. So it's not really anything extravagant. It's just us being together, and it's me taking the time to be intentional and to plan our days. Usually I'm off working and my wife is with the kids, and so when I come in and I take leadership of that day, I get to craft something really fun for our family. And the Sabbath is one of those rhythms that will bond you together as a family. You look forward to it every week. You work towards it every week. And that will help you establish a healthy weekly rhythm. The 7-day week is the only rhythm that's like not built into the cosmos, right? Like the year is built around the earth rotating around the sun. The day is the earth spinning. The month is the lunar cycle. But the 7-day week has been like historically celebrated for a long time, and it seems to work well with the way that we were created. So tapping into that one day of solid rest, no technology during that, obviously, and no technology during the dinner thing, no technology during the bedtime thing, all of these different things. You should try to be tech-free if you can. The next weekly rhythm is a date night. I've talked about this before on other podcasts and stuff, but try to take your wife out once a week on a date, trade babysitting with friends, or move close to your in-laws so you can have free babysitting. But do what you need to do to take your wife out, celebrate her, treat her well, and to nourish that relationship. That's going to be essential to your connection with your wife, and then the health of the whole family unit. One-on-ones with kids, I try to do like about one a month. I call it weekly because I've got 4 kids now, and so I try to take one of them with me on an errand or to a job that I'm doing, or even just out for a treat, or a bike ride or whatever they're into, go and play basketball. Sometimes it's not practical to just do one-on-one, so take the boys, toddler, and the 7-year-old to go play basketball. It counts kind of as a one-on-one with my older son too. But do what you can to connect with each child at least once a month. The next rhythm is a rhythm of hospitality. You don't have to do this weekly, but to have people into your house, invite them over, I know in the Pacific Northwest, we kind of have a colder private culture. It's not something that comes naturally to a lot of people. But to invite people into your house, teach your children how to host, how to say hello to people as they come in, how to clean the house and prepare food, and create an environment where people feel welcome. That's an important skill for them to have, to learn how to shake a hand and say hello to their face. That's a great skill. So teach your kids that. It's good for you to be around people and to be hosting. Sometimes with a bunch of kids, it can just be chaotic, but if you have space outside for them to play, do that. In this season of our life, we're not doing a ton of hosting because we just had a fourth kid. Again, I've said that before, but we don't really have the capacity for that. So, but when we do, we like to have some friends over and mix things up that way. And then another weekly rhythm for you as a dad is to just be investing in friendships. So it's easy for dads to kind of focus just on work and then family and then ignore friends for a while. But I would encourage you to try to make a weekly habit of getting together with a couple guys. It doesn't have to be crazy or elaborate. Just like drinks on the porch, drink some kombucha or whatever you drink, and hang out and check in on them and see how they're doing. Be intentional with that time. Don't just shoot the breeze, but ask them how their marriage is, ask them how their kids are, and then encourage each other as you can. So those are the weekly rhythms. Here's some yearly rhythms to think about as you kind of think about your whole year. Marking milestones is a big deal. So you've got birthdays, you've got holidays, you've got all those things. But as you think about those and you enter into those, I like to write a note for my kids to kind of implant vision into the day, tell them that I love them, to bless them, because birthdays can go by so fast and holidays can go by so fast. But just have a moment where you read them a letter is really important, and they tend to really like that. I like to take out my daughter on a special date for her birthday. I haven't done that for my son, but I should, or my wife, I'd like to allow her to do that. But to just mark the day as something special, not just with presents and consumerism, but with words of vision and purpose. And then holidays, to do the same thing, talk about why you celebrate holidays, and implant that with vision and history from grandparents. It's a great time to learn about your extended family, ask them good questions, have your kids come with good questions for grandparents and aunts and uncles, how they met, tell us about deceased ancestors. So use those times to build vision and to give your kids an idea of where they come from. Some other milestones are like first haircuts, first lost tooth, first day of school, first breakup, whatever it is. To mark the day with a little ice cream, I think is always good, to celebrate each child, and to make it a little bit special. So just think about different ways where you can kind of plant a flag in the ground and say, I love you, you're a wonderful child, you're doing good, and I'm proud of you. John Tyson has a book called The Intentional Father, where he talks about how to develop, like, initiating your son into manhood. That's going to be a great milestone to think about. Also, I don't have a ton of tips on that because my son is 7, so we're not quite there yet. But if you want some more on like a big initiation, a big milestone marker, that would be a great book to read. Another yearly rhythm to be thinking about is vacations, and not just vacations as a way to recreate, but that is also super important. Not a way to just consume and spend money, but as a way to build each other together as a team and as a unit. And so think of some sort of vacation that will get you alone, away from phones, out into some sort of challenging environment, or fun environment where you can interact with each other and learn problem-solving skills and be close enough to each other where you have to develop character. So think about some vacations, small ones. Camping, they don't have to be extravagant. It could just be a weekend away, or it can be a big one. But think of something that will build you together as a unit, not just something that'll be fun for everyone. So as you develop these rhythms, it might take some time to get them going. So tweak them, play with them, work towards them. But I think in the long run, it'll benefit you greatly. It's the whole point of life and living is to connect with the people that you love. And so to build rhythms in that connect you together, build you together as a team. It'll keep your children attached to you. It'll keep you attached to them. And as they go and grow into their teenage years, you'll have a unit that likes to be around each other, expects to be around each other, and then you can build off that connection as you help walk them through those older years, all those things that happen. And it'll keep you distinct from the culture at large. You'll have an identity as a family. You'll have vision. You'll have purpose. You'll have values that are different than what corporate America tells you to do with your money and your time, what the school district tells you to do with your money and your time, with what your friends tell you to do with your money and your time. You get to decide what you do. So build rhythms in that support your vision and your mission. And so I have the last little tab is to talk about our story. I've already told you guys our Sabbath story, but we started just a few months ago being really intentional about Sabbath again. We did it for a while and then kind of stopped. And so it's been really great. The kids look forward to lighting the candles every week and singing our song together. And just me taking the initiative to be involved makes a world of difference. So if you're the dad, it's your job to make this happen. So lead with vision, make it fun, and connect with your family. That's what this is all about, is building rhythms for connection. So enjoy the month of September. As always, leave comments or tell us about your experience so that we can grow together. Thank you for being part of the DadWise Academy, and we'll see you next month.